Ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of Unsolicited Lifting Advice. My name is Sam.
My name is Manas.
And we have video now. Hello.
Hooray! Episode 2's promise come to life.
Yeah, hopefully we stay having video. We'll see. But fingers crossed.
Baby steps are still steps.
Yeah, fingers crossed it works and it's still recording by the end of the episode. All right, so today we figured would be an excellent time to talk about going to the gym. We are Unsolicited Lifting Advice, where we give unsolicited lifting advice. And to lift, you need some kind of gym, whether that's a home gym or a commercial gym, or
or even like if you're using a playground in your body, that is your gym.
Yes,
that
exactly.
is still your space where you do this.
Yeah, and so we figured with the new year, there will probably be some of you who either are going to the gym for the first time or haven't been to the gym in a while. And we figured this would be a good time to talk about some basic gym etiquette, assuage some fears and concerns that you may or may not have about lifting in front of strangers. So,
welcome back to the club. We've got your T-shirt in the back.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do today. So an excellent point to start is today, Manas. What did we just finish doing?
Oh boy. Okay. So today. Were you supposed to be in the gym today? Because I was not.
No, today was an off day.
Okay. So we went in. There was a video we wanted to shoot. Just an idea we had for just a fun bench press parody video. And the original plan was just walk in. We're gonna do a couple sets of 95 pounds.
Yeah.
Walk out. Cool. Done. Like just walk in with a purpose, achieve that purpose, and leave.
Yep.
Instead, we tested bench maxes.
Tested bench matches, and I'm benching tomorrow for my actual program.
Yeah, I benched yesterday for my actual program.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we're already there, so you might as well get an arm pump.
Yeah, had to get an arm pump. Had to use some buys and tries. And we got the content we needed. We did, in fact, accomplish what we were there for.
So mission achieved.
Yes.
Those of you who follow us on Instagram or TikTok, which for those of you that don't, it's at ULA Podcast, will be able to see that, I'm assuming, later this week.
Yeah, for sure. Relatively soon. But I had a good time.
I had a blast.
It turns out that following a program by a doctor will increase your strength gains in a precipitous manner relatively quickly.
4 weeks in, you did, what, 345 today?
Yeah, for a single. And we just stopped after that because I was like,
which
good.
Even that, I looked at it and I'm like, I thought you could do more. But shout out for not taking the ego into the weight room with you.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it'd be terrible to start first video with my arm like this because I ruptured my shoulder trying to bench too much.
Unsolicited lifting advice coming to you live from the ER.
Yes, exactly. We would have done the podcast from the ambulance on the way in. That would have been a fun one.
I said, just don't worry. We would have recorded the ambulance.
Yes, 100%.
Because our commitment to you, Team ULA, comes first.
Comes before our safety, our health, and our well-being.
Yeah, Lord knows our well-being.
Absolutely. So I thought, as I was driving down and we were trying to figure out what to talk about because we didn't know hours ago, I was like, oh, we're a podcast about lifting and we haven't talked about the gym yet. Really, we've hinted at.
Right, we had an episode
sets
about resolutions and how to set good, achievable ones.
And meal plan. We set good groundwork. It's like we know what we're talking about.
There's a foundation that's there. Yeah. But yeah, let's grab the bull by the horns and get into it.
Yeah, so the gym. There are many kinds. As we saw at the beginning of the episode, you have your commercial gyms, you have high school weight room facilities, you have home gyms, you have parks if you're cool and hip and can do muscle ups very easily.
Yep.
And then assorted pieces of wood and stone if you're a real badass.
Oh,
and you want to lift like C.T. Fletcher. But let's start with where we began in the gym. Do you remember your first lift in a gym?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember my first time ever touching a barbell. So, I was, I would have been 14 at the time. And my journey started the way many of ours did. It was about a girl. And to be fair, it wasn't the, oh, my heart's broken and I'm going to go and show her what you missed out on.
Yeah.
It was the, hey, like, she's an athlete, I'm an athlete, she looks like it, I really don't. I'm using athlete for myself very loosely here. And so I went in there. All right, first day in the gym, what am I going to do? Obviously, bench press. Mm-hmm. And I ran into one of the first obstacles that I think a lot of people do when they're coming back after a break or when they're getting into it for the first time. I had no idea what weight to lift.
Yeah.
And so I got up on there, picked up the barbell. Hey, yeah, this is fine. I can move this around. This is 45 pounds. That's easy. Grab 225s, load that on there. Okay, like this is not even 100 pounds. Bear in mind, at this point, I probably weigh 115, 120 pounds.
Yeah, this
soaking
is
wet.
So 14. Is this middle school or is this early high school?
Early high school.
Okay.
And so, there's maybe 100 pounds on my frame, just barely exaggerating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can move around 100 pounds, no problem. First lift, almost body weight, no problem. Pick it up. I did unrack it very successfully. that was about where the success stopped. Yeah. The bar comes crashing down on my chest. I'm sitting here struggling. I did know to put clips on.
Yeah.
And because that, the weight could not fall off to the side. And so I'm standing there. A personal trainer had to come from across the weight room to pick that up for me. And yeah, we started right there.
Being able to unrack the bar is like being able to put on skis and go down the hill. It's like, okay, that's step 1. How about steps 3 through 5 for getting out of this alive?
Quite a bit more.
Yeah.
But that said, I distinctly remember that. I remember my face being like beat red and like making some excuse about, oh yeah, man, I've been, I had chest really hard already. I guess I just didn't. It's like, all right, sure, bro, sure.
And so this was a commercial gym. This was.
It was a Fitness 19, so it was technically commercial, but it was locally owned.
But like a public gym. This wasn't school related.
Yeah, it was a public gym. The owner lived like 5 minutes away. Was there almost every single day.
Local no name gym.
Fitness 19, Elkridge, Maryland.
Shout out sponsorship.
But yeah, still, actually would love to go back there sometime.
and beat up those 25-pound dumbbells for
so, hey, I remember what you did to me. But yeah, that was the first time in my life I ever touched a barbell.
Nice. I remember my first time. It was similar age, actually. This would have been going into sophomore. So I would have been 15. It was the summer of 2009. I remember this because I was trying out for football for the first time for my local public school, and you do conditioning, for summer workouts. Show up, did running, and I had played soccer before this, so I was in great running shape. Like I could run and sprint, no problem. So finish the running portion of it, and then head into the lifting portion. And again, like you, I had no idea what weight to lift. I was just going kind of with the guys who I was around, which, were on a mix of varsity and JV. I was a bigger kid, so I was kind of getting nudged towards the varsity edge just because of my size.
Right.
So I'm lifting with like juniors, and, I'm a rising sophomore, who has never touched a barbell before. Same thing. I think I was maybe able to do like one plate on the shoulder press, maybe on the machine. Not a barbell, not 135 pounds. I'm talking 45 pounds an arm.
I was about to say.
No. 45 pounds an arm, maybe, on a single plane of motion. And then bench press, again, I think I was able to do 25s. I definitely remember not being able to hit plates on it. That was my first experience in the gym, was that. And then from football, moving into lifting with my dad in the off season at a Bally's Fitness, and that was, again, this is before I really knew how to train body parts, and that it was reps. My dad would go we just do 500 rep workouts. So it would start on the incline chest press, then I would go to an ab crunch thing, maybe some leg press machine, like the one where you're sitting like this. Not even like the one where you're back and pushing up. I mean, like...
I know exactly.
Yeah, like...
this plane of motion, for those of you joining us on video.
Yes, yes, you can see what we're doing now. That thing, but not squats, wasn't squatting. I would maybe do leg extensions. I would do some kind of arm thing, hip adductors and it was all over the place because, again, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
And then I'd maybe go do some running on the treadmill. Probably not, because I remember baseball season the next year barely being able to run a mile in 12 minutes. So was not doing cardio at the time. But that was my first experience in the gym. Fast forward to both of us over a decade later.
Yeah.
For me, 13 plus years later. A little more knowledge, a touch. Again, if for those who've listened before, we're both on our way to getting certified as personal trainers through ACE. Shout out ACE. Learning more about it, we figured, again, kind of to the beginning of the episode, give y'all some pointers, some tips, and some advice on getting into the gym for the first time.
Absolutely.
So, first thing you need to go when going to the gym is that you're fine. You're going to be cool. Like, he almost died. And I barely did better only because there were more people around me. And here we are today. So if you don't know what you're doing, that is not an excuse not to go. Luckily, most machines have pictures on them where you can literally look at them and figure something out. But again, we live in the age of the social media influencer. And one of the positives of that is there are a plethora of websites, videos, guides on what to do when you're getting started in the gym. Free, available on everywhere, literally.
Yeah.
You can probably find one.
Like, to this day, I talked, what was it, last week? I talked last week about when I was setting up my programming for my cutting split, I'm planning on only doing low bar squats, which is, I've done them before, but I've never focused exclusively on getting that motion right. One of the first things I did, even at this point, hey, I've been in the gym for 10 years. I've been lifting consistently for 6 or 7 years. Been very focused on the evidence and how can I make sure what I'm doing is actually going to work for me for a year and a half. Even at that point, sat around last week on, all right, Jeff Nippert, Omar Isuf, let's look up what they have to say specifically on the low bar squat.
Yeah.
Because regardless of where you are, it's still nice to sit down and, hey, let's just go over the pointers again.
Yeah.
Even if I know what to be doing, let's go over this before I hurt myself, and that's how I relearn what I'm supposed to be doing.
I am always going back to Squat University or Dr. Jim Stepani, or, again, the list is pretty extensive of individuals who know what they're talking about and going, okay, am I doing this right? I very recently tweaked dumbbell flies because I watched the video of Dr. Giuseppani going, hey, do it this way, you activate blah, 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 blah. So, I'm okay, cool. And again, that was within a couple months. So I've tweaked as recently as that. So if you're starting out in the gym, do not be afraid to ask for help. Obviously, if you're going to a commercial gym, they might have personal trainers available. Feel free to utilize them. Again, and if you know someone who lifts, that's not a bad thing too. We've both been approached by friends, not necessarily to like fully make programs, but be like, hey, what would you recommend for X and Y?
Hey, like, I'm struggling with this area. What would you do?
Yeah, and what we do is we point to people who have degrees and certifications and go, listen to them. Here's what I do because I listen to them. We are not able to stand on our own yet. Give us 6 months. We'll be there.
We're working on it.
So step number one, going to the gym, is you're cool not knowing what you're doing. You can learn either at the gym, online, or with people.
And if you want proof that absolutely no one is staring at you,
that was number two. No one is watching you. You are not being judged. It
just doesn't happen.
Yeah, now there are probably exceptions. That's just kind of part of life.
But that is a very overrepresented minority. They get a lot of the attention, but that's not who most of us are.
Yeah, now we've seen the gym fail videos and stuff. Granted, a lot of those people are doing ridiculous things that are over the top, to the point of injury. You're going to get hurt doing that stuff. But even still, we recorded today. No one said anything. I've set stuff up before to record a set before. No, as long as you're not being obnoxious and making a spectacle, you're not going to be asked or told anything.
The gym I work out at when I stay with my parents is predominant. It's non-commercial. It's a smaller gym. I actually really love it.
Yeah.
And it has a strong sort of more powerlifty sort of culture.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that almost every single person in there does at least 3 plates on each of their big lifts. Spoiler alert, I do not. God, benching. And so while you've got these guys who just absolute freaks of nature walking around in their hoodies and their sweatpants, you've got me in my shorts that come halfway down to my knees.
Your R2D2 socks.
Yes, my R2D2 socks. My socks that'll stop like right where my calves start. Recording myself doing hip thrusts in the middle of the free weight section. Well, up against a wall, but in the free weight section. Absolutely no one cares. Not a single person even glanced my way.
Yeah.
And if it won't happen there, it won't happen anywhere.
Yeah, again, the overwhelming majority of people understand that you're in the gym. Well, most people there are they're doing their own thing.
They're there to do their thing.
It's less that they're not going to make. It's like they're just not thinking about anything other than what they're doing. You know. And again, unless you're being obnoxious or intrusive, making a lot of noise and throwing stuff all over the place, you're totally fine looking however you look and doing what you do. I mean, I got a lot of bit of something right here. No one says anything to me because I'm bigger than them. But, it's not an issue. You're not being judged. And definitely feel free to go to a gym at any time. And the point of this is to better yourself physically. And, again, 99.999% of people understand that and respect that. And you'll be totally fine getting in there and doing what you got to do.
On a very similar note, to especially building off what you said about almost everyone you run into understands what you're going through, respects what you're going through, and recognizes that they've been there too. If you do come up and have any questions, obviously, don't walk up to someone in the middle of their set.
Yeah, bottom of the squat motion. Like, hey, bro, what are you?
Yeah, but if you ask for help, when it comes to talking to strangers, gym bros are the just shockingly welcoming community I've ever come across in my entire life. And it is always the most, absolutely ripped, jacked, you could grab me and tear me in half dudes that are just the most absurdly nice people you'll meet. And, I mean, even, let's see, yesterday, I was waiting on the chest fly machine. Guy saw me glance over at it, came over to where I was about, setting up for another machine. Was like, hey, man, if you're waiting on this, I'm about to go wipe it down. It's all yours. That level of consideration from a total stranger. Because, hey, we're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Some of us are at different levels. Some of us are going there for the first time. Others are deciding that, hey, we should start a podcast about this.
Yes.
Others are off winning Mr. Olympias.
Yeah.
But we're all on a similar journey, and most of us recognize that. And if you've got a question, we're more than happy to help.
Yeah, I've been asked to spot people. Again, total strange. I've been asked to record sets. Again, no issues. Again, as long as you're not literally in the middle of the lift and weights over your chest, no issues, no problem. This is an interest, I guess, kind of branching off to that, socializing in the gym. What are your thoughts? Because I personally work out very early when there's really not a lot of people there. And by socializing, I mean the prolonged conversations, standing. Again, that's just not me personally because I'm in there. I'm almost always on a time schedule thing. Yeah. I'm not big on it, but I don't I have nothing against it.
It's not me either. However, my opinion is if that is you, just be. This factors into just being aware of what other people are doing. If there's only 2 benches in the entire gym, don't have a 20-minute conversation sitting down on the bench before you decide to start your warm-ups.
Yeah.
At that point, someone else could have finished all of their work, and then you still would have gotten there. If you're off in a corner, you're just sitting in the middle of the gym and you're not in anyone's way, do what you want. That's your space, that's your time.
No problem being friends with people, but it's that let me talk, have a 15-minute conversation sitting on flat pull down as I'm all right, well, I guess I'm going to do every single other back exercise today instead of not pull down because he's sitting there.
But that's even talking to strangers, what I'll normally do is there's a couple weeks of just we see each other here at the same time. You've got like the bro nods from across the like, oh hey, and then just like, hey man, what you working today?
Yeah.
All right, have a good workout.
Yeah. So let's talk that progression. So it goes from complete and total strangers to a nod, and then from nod to like a point, and then from point to like again pre-COVID point to a fist bump. And then maybe a comment about, hey, you're doing good
today.
Yeah. I had to. This is to show, to the nicest people are giants.
Yeah.
When I was living in Fairfax, I was going to the gym again super early. There was like a handful of people. Again, the same people. You see them again, you'll be like, hey, what's up? I had a guy come over to me, and this dude was like, I'll give him like 6'3". Like, think Mike O'Hearn, just dial it down a touch.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just
Not a ton, just dial Mike O'Hearn back a little bit, and then you got this dude. And I was squatting or something, and he, after I finished, he's like, hey, man, you don't see a lot of people putting up that kind of weight, and you're getting all the way low. And I have held on to that compliment for the last 7 years. 3 years. 3 years, I'm lying. I've held on to that compliment for 3 years. So that's how nice this community of people can be.
Yeah.
But that's kind of into that progression. And then after you've gotten the, the fist bumps, a couple, quick conversations, they'll compliment you on your lifts. Then you get married and have kids or whatever the progression.
Whatever the bro progression goes past
whatever
there.
happens. But yeah, so that's that's how the socials.
You wait until your bro decides to compete in a bodybuilding show, and then you volunteer to be his tanner.
Yes. Because asking and giving him a massage just wasn't working in the gym, so he gotta sneak her way in there somehow. Yeah, so what we're getting at is these are very nice people, and if you're consistent, you'll develop that rapport.
And people recognize the consistency. That was the compliment that hit me the most. Is a similar sort of person. He works out at the Golds. We just worked out today.
Yeah.
Guy's name is Chad. Incredibly nice guy. Once I started working out at this gym, kind of picked him out in the, hey, like, bro who works out around my height, similar time frame, like, that's what I want to look like in 4 years. That's it. And then, like, that guy coming up and be like, hey, man, like, I see you in here every single day. Like, your lifts are going up. Fucking keep it up, man. I'm like, yes.
That was 14 words. And that means more to us than any gift you could ever give us.
What do you want for Christmas? I want that conversation again.
One more time. I just replayed it in my head as I go to sleep.
Just tell me you're proud of me.
Yeah, no, but so, like, it's if you're new, and you're thinking about going, definitely go. People aren't going to judge you. People aren't going to be concerned about what you're doing. I mean, again, be considerate to the point about with socializing. Again, don't have long conversations holding equipment hostage. But, you will, if you're consistent, you will definitely develop that rapport with guys. I don't talk to women at the gym. That's just me for a variety of reasons. But, like, I
don't talk to anyone that doesn't talk to me first.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And it's not because of crippling social anxiety.
No, it wasn't that at all.
But yeah, it's if you're looking for any support, you will be able to find it, whether it's through just other people that are there, or depending on where you choose to work out, trainer. And even if your place does not have a trainer, or, I mean, that's a real concern for a lot of people. You don't have the financial means to do that right now.
Yeah,
there's still plenty of content that is, I cannot believe so much of this is free.
Yeah.
Just like the 3MJ podcast again. I mean, we're not going to go down the same exact list of names again, but the content that they pull out, people go to school and pay tens of thousands of dollars to learn this not as well.
Yeah.
And so if you want the information, it will be there. If you have any questions about, hey, I'm nervous about this specific thing, reach out, ask us. We'd be happy to point you in the direction of, hey, this person has a video where they break this down for you.
Yeah.
And if that's how we can help out, we'd be happy to do that.
And in 6 months, we'll be able to give the advice ourselves without breaking laws.
Yep.
All right, so that's the serious stuff out of the way. Let's talk about gym attire. You need leg no. So, I mean, like, what you wear to the gym, I mean, if you can work out in it, go for it. There's definitely fun stereotypes around certain outfits.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, like, the guy who wears jeans, like full-length jeans in the gym, is either like ripped out of his mind or just came from work, didn't have anything to change into, and just had to get it done.
Like works construction 12 hours a day, and this is the only free half an hour he
has to come get it in, and he has to get it done. So he came in his overalls and his combat boots, and he's just working. But I mean, I would recommend something you can have full range of motion. I cannot imagine lifting in jeans in any like way, shape, or form.
Imagine going for a squat and just hearing a rip at the bottom.
Yeah. Or like halfway down if you're me, just like, yep, that was bound to happen. I do remember back to first time lifting, sophomore year, football workouts in the summer. This is like June, like a couple weeks into June. And one kid, I won't say his name because I love him to death, but he showed up in jean shorts. And we were all like, oh, dude, that's not going to go well. And it didn't. Yeah. That's just Chafe City. And it was like, again, it's like June. It's hot. It's muggy. We're doing, sprints.
You're likely to chafe even with perfect attire.
Yeah. So. No, that's inevitable at some point. Yeah, no, we felt so bad. And he didn't, he corrected course almost instantly.
He didn't decide to keep doing this?
He figured out that it wasn't the best idea. Changed out of jean shorts for the upcoming workout. Shout out that guy. I won't say his name. So wear stuff that you can move around in. My mother has figured out what I'm lifting, approximately what I'm wearing. Like I'll come when I come back in the house and I have on like my sweats and sweatshirts. Oh, is it leg day? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then if I'm wearing something like this, like, oh, you hit arms today. I'm like, yes.
I know I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah. You have to point it out so immediately to me.
But yeah, I mean, like whatever's comfortable. I do recommend in terms of shoes, and this doesn't have to be anything immediate. It's definitely not I cannot start until I get this.
Yeah.
When you're going for some of the heavier lifts, having something like Vans or like I love Chuck Taylors, something that's just flat-footed helps.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, wouldn't want that if you're about to go do an hour on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I'm trying to say is be cognizant of how your shoe attire impacts what you're doing. Other than that, pretty much everything else is if it's comfortable and you can move around in it, you can wear it.
Closed-toed shoes. That's the only.
Yes.
That's the only from day one. Definitely closed-toed shoes. I mean, not like.
And for more your sake than anyone else's, socks.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, not like shoes are really going to protect against a 45-pound plate falling on your foot. But I'll take every inch of fabric I can over straight iron to toe.
And also, just you're going to be lifting weight and struggling to keep your foot in the shoe, much less keeping the actual foot in place.
Yeah.
And the shoe driven into the ground and your chin up. And
only exception is I have deadlifted barefoot before.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's break our rules instantly after talking about that.
No, actually, I've seen...
I like deadlifting barefoot sometimes.
I like Chuck Taylors for the same reason, just complete flat-footedness. But, yeah, deadlifts. I've seen a lot of people squat barefoot.
Yeah.
I'll freely admit I'm a little too self-conscious to do so, but I definitely don't think any worse of anyone that does that.
Now I do have socks on. I'm not straight. I'm not just straight toe cocking it.
Free toeing it.
Yeah. Showing everyone my babies.
Trim your toes, toenails if you're gonna do that.
No, shave your toes down. Get an orbital sander. So we got the basics. We have don't wear jean shorts for heavy cardio sessions unless you're a baller. Shoes for all possible. Other accessories like music. I love music unless I'm lifting with someone. Because if I'm lifting with someone, I'm going to be talking. We're going to be, having a rapport, back and forth, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm, again, 5 a.m. by my lonesome, I am blasting everything from Hamilton to old school Spanish soap opera music to...
So, you're going to make fun of me.
Ooh.
I don't think one of my gym buddies accidentally figured this out, and this is, other than that, gonna be the first time I ever anyone finds out about this.
I'm very curious about this.
So what I listen to when I work out, when I'm doing my main compound lift for the day, I'm listening to actual music. Past that, when we start getting into accessory work, I'll listen to like news. And podcasts.
I do that.
I went through a full hour-long push day listening to a recording of the previous day's congressional hearings.
Oh.
Why I decided that is what I wanted to work out to, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I knew I had to work out and I had to listen to this.
Yeah.
So just
slam them together.
Lump them together because naturally they must go together.
See, just like lifting in jeans, if you have no other option but to do homework while you lift, get your homework done while you lift.
Do what you can. Final season is brutal.
I wouldn't make fun of it. It's different and it's funny. But no, I've listened to podcasts while working out. Like I said, I've gotten great lifts to the Hamilton soundtrack. I've gotten great lifts to anime music openings. Like, literally, I've just found that I just need something that I'm controlling. Because the gym music, which I remember, again, back to the Bally days, it was the same 12 songs every single day. Because, again, you're going at the same time. Everything's kind of the same. It was the same... You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. It is the song I heard just about every single day from ages like 15 to 17, going to that Bally's. That's just what was always playing. So I like something I'm controlling, but what it is can be, literally anything. I listen to just about anything. Podcasts. I haven't done books on tape, but I guess a podcast is similar enough. But yeah, it doesn't have to be music, and it doesn't have to be like hardcore stuff too. Like I'll listen to like hardcore underground punk rock if I want to, but sometimes it's super poppy. Sometimes it's hip hop. It runs the gamut of just something I want to listen to at the time.
And sometimes like when we'll go through a day that's designed to, this is going to be brutal. This is just especially going to hit you mentally more than physically. A day like that, I just won't listen to music. I'm like, no, like
interesting.
If I'm gonna go through this suck, I'm going to dig deep and get through it.
Okay.
Mostly so that the next day I can be like, yeah, I did that.
That is David Goggins, and but that's David Goggins and probably Jocko's theory, at least for cardio when they're running. So if you're not familiar, David Goggins is a former, I don't know what they do, but he was a Navy SEAL and is currently
he runs ultra marathons?
Yeah, he does like the Moab 250, like 250 miles through a desert, that kind of stuff. And he's big. Now there's like mental toughness, and then there's my mind is an iron fortress that cannot be penetrated. And then he's like 2 steps beyond that. So he's big on not listening to music because that's his vibe. And again, whatever your vibe is, that's good for you.
I guess the point we're trying to make is just get in there, experiment around. Once again, no one cares what you do.
Nope.
So find what works for you.
As long as you're not singing loudly, badly.
Yes. If you're going to serenade me, I want to be entertained.
If you're doing good, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, if you can't hit notes, like your boy, maybe don't sing out loud. Just like quiet mumble up the songs to yourself with this. And then,
I'm imagining you leaned up against the squat rack. I'm so sorry to anyone not tuned in on video that you had to miss that. But
I'm not gonna waste my shot. I'm not gonna waste my shot.
Yo, just like my country. Yo, express you hungry.
No, I like if I need to really focus in, then I'll do normally an album that I really like all the stuff on. Breaking Benjamin's Dark Before Dawn was senior year leg day. Every leg day. Because I had started a new program that was really volume intensive. I'm like, okay, I got to crank into this, listen to that. But I mean, I've crafted workout playlists. I have a couple big ones. Like I have 3 main ones that I'll rotate between. Just depending on the vibe. Again, music that I just know works. I like. It gets me. I'm excited to be there and do what I got to do.
Right.
Need to update it more often than I do, but that just is the way.
Don't we all?
Yeah, it's kind of how that works. All right, so we got music. Dry scooping pre-workout. Yes. No.
So you did that for the first time today.
Yeah, I have never dry scooped pre-workout. Again, my thought was like, I thought it was just like, oh, I'm a badass. I'm going to dry scoop. But apparently it's much like rubbing cocaine on your gums, it gets it in your bloodstream faster, was the reason people do it. So
now I don't know if it actually does or if it's just entirely upstairs.
Yeah,
but
probably.
At least partially.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people that just that's hey. For example, like in my case, I don't really dry scoop.
Yeah.
For the most part, actually, I don't really use pre-workout as much anymore.
Yeah.
I'll like right now I'll only take it on leg days just because I'm gonna have a little more heavy work and whatever gets you through it.
Yep.
However, dry scooping is reserved for one of two things. A day like today where we're just going in and having some fun.
Yeah.
Or it's part of my pregame routine for I'm one rep maxing today.
It's the mental. It's getting the mental. Also, dry scooping, by the way. So, okay, let's actually go pre-workout and supplements. These are powders with mystery chemicals in it that make you lift more.
Yes.
We're kind of joking. So,
although quick serious note.
Yeah.
If anyone tells you anything about any supplement and you want to know, is this true?
The answer is no.
Examine.com is a phenomenal website that brings together a lot of the research on substances and will say, hey, so this has been proven to have this effect to this degree. Mm-hmm. It also say, based on the amount of studies and the way that the studies were run, how confident they are in that analysis. If you pay, you can then look up exactly which studies they used for that conclusion and look up the actual studies. But even as a free resource, phenomenal starting point. Anytime anyone tells me anything, I'm like, okay, what does Examine say?
Cool. I didn't know that. I go through the people we always talk about and trust them. But yeah, so dry scooping pre-workout. So the normal way you take pre-workout, or really any supplements that aren't in pill form, is you take whatever powder it is into water, or if you're rich and fancy, protein powder into milk, and then you drink it. Dry scooping is you take the scooper and just straight cold cock it down the hatch. And it, remember the cinnamon challenge that like killed people, I think, a couple years back? It's kind of like that, except for it's not spicy.
It's natural evolution.
Jimbo said, how do I make this involve legalized meth? And then they did that. So
I'm good at one thing, and everything needs to be about that.
Yes. So yeah, I dry scoop for the first time today. That process started with you scraping the C4 off the sides of the container. And
so I recently bought some new pre-workout, forgetting that I had a bit of this C4 left.
Yeah.
And because I've had it for so long, and like I said, I don't really use pre-workout anymore, it's been sitting there.
Yeah.
And it is condensed into a solid.
Yep.
And we had to break that solid up.
You ever seen a stucco wall? That's more or less what the inside of that container looked like. And he scraped it into a cat litter-like consistency, which we then took like a shot of Jaeger and
without the Red Bull.
Exactly. Yeah. No chasers. No look. I mean, the taste was it's exactly what it would taste like in water, just drier and more coarse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I don't normally use pre-workout. Just I don't really need it. Yeah. Occasionally, if I just kind of want to be fun, like I have one that I'll take occasionally, one of Jim Stefani's. Mm-hmm. I like the Rain energy drink more just because it tastes good. There's caffeine in it. Cool. Like, again, I work out fasted normally just because it's when I work out, so I'm not terribly concerned about needing caffeine unless I got garbage sleep or something that I just need. Like, I'm just trying to stay awake.
I do think one of my overall biggest gym bro flexes is that I don't have a caffeine addiction. Mm-hmm. All that said, with a giant asterisk of
for the gym, for class on the other.
Well, even so I don't take caffeine. But when I do, I'll take like 700 grams.
Exactly, yeah. Milligrams.
Yes.
I just took, what's that, like 8 ounces worth of caffeine.
Oh, God, that might kill you.
That definitely would kill you.
That would kill you. 700
grams of caffeine would absolutely put you in the body bag.
All right, I'm sure we'll go more into supplements at a later point. In terms of starting points with supplements, just I mean, creatine's phenomenal. It is not a steroid. We're going to have a proper in-depth steroid episode coming at you very soon.
Very soon.
Possibly being recorded tomorrow. Who
Maybe.
knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
But creatine is not a steroid. It is good for you. I'm just going to quickly throw out a slightly controversial opinion. Leave it there.
I like it.
Everyone, whether you work out or not, should take creatine.
Ooh.
It is so cheap, and it has its cognitive benefits along with its physical ones.
Yeah.
But yes, creatine is good for you. Caffeine, just the normal
Coffee,
sort of coffee
black
thing.
coffee.
Yeah, it's good for you. You're fine. Just make sure you don't develop a dependency. The best way to do it, just occasionally take breaks from it. Creatine, you do not need to do that. Your body will not develop a tolerance. You can take forever. And whey protein is a food source, not a supplement.
Yep. Now you can take it in powder form, and again, I normally use it just to hit my protein requirement for the day more than having to get it in for.
I mostly use it as like ingredients in foods. I'll make
protein
protein pancakes.
Yeah, I made some about the other day. Yeah.
I made protein waffles this week. I'll make some for you soon.
Hey, I like food. The more protein, the more better.
All right. Overall, on that note, though. I just trailed off. I don't even know.
I was deciding where we going? So we've gotten the serious stuff. We've gotten most of the fun stuff out of the way. Gym buddies. That's a great accountability thing. That's just for stuff in general. Having someone keeping you accountable is super nice. So having someone to go to the gym with you, to push you, to motivate you is always helpful.
Definitely. We've talked in the past on this podcast about how having each other at our starts was very huge. Just a day you don't want to go, you have to go because he's going to go. And then over time, okay, now this is a habit. Now this is a thing you do, and it's easy to just maintain.
Yeah.
That probably falls into individuality again of there's some people that will go the other way of, hey, no. And that's fine. Whatever works for you. Just if this does work well, it'll work very well.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend at least trying it at some point, especially if this is I'm going in for the first time and not I'm getting back into it.
And it definitely helps with those nerves too. Like you're not alone. You have someone there with you. Again, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If they're also new, you're going through it together. If they're not new, you've got someone to show you the way.
Yes.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah. Gym buddies are, again, obviously not necessary. I work out alone most of the time just because that's how it works.
Same here.
But again, I live with you, with Nasty. I think everybody I've gotten in solo workouts with.
If we're friends, we've probably worked out.
Basically, that's one of my love languages is lifting heavy things with you. Gym buddies are good. We got music.
First date, let me take you to drinks and a workout.
That's gonna be the
That's when you know it's real. When I want to get an arm pump with you.
Post COVID, that's the new date. Drinks and a workout. So that's. I
think that's just about everything.
That's the intro.
I guess last note, if like there is no I'm too. Blank to start. I'm too skinny.
Yes.
That's
too
fine.
fat, too tall, too short, too black.
But whatever
I don't know where I was going with that.
Whatever it is, just. I was about to say whatever is get in there. That's how you work on it, but that's just not true anymore. It's whatever it is that you're scared that you're too blank to get in the gym. You're not. Get in there. Once again, no one cares if you've got any requests for help. People will be more than happy to help you out. And at the end of the day, like if I see someone in there who's very skinny and doesn't look like they work out at all,
cool.
One, I'm not gonna think twice about it.
No, yeah.
And two, if they come up to me and ask something. Hey, man, good on you. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, and if you're like me and fat and you're getting in there, cool. Trying to make yourself better, trying to, make life a little... the health benefits with reducing weight via exercise are innumerable. But, yeah, no one's in there concerned about why is Fatty McFatters? It's like no one's thinking that. They're really too busy thinking about themselves. Yeah. But let's be altruistic about it. They're happy that people are in there trying to just be healthier and live better lives. Like you're never too, like you said, you're never too blank to go to the gym.
At the end of the day, even
old,
by having
same thing. Old, you're never too old to go to the gym.
My mother just got a bench. It's being delivered on Wednesday.
There we go.
We put it together. Just getting a home gym put together now. Yes, I'm so happy.
Yeah. No, I mean, Nasty told me the other day that his mom was asking about a belt to deadlift it. I'm like, dope. Yeah.
I saw a video of her deadlifting. Yeah, her form is impeccable.
At no points are you too blank to go to the gym.
And the fact that you're even seriously considering it, even if you haven't already done it, the fact that you're considering it means that the people who you're intimidated by, I'm assuming, are people who you have much more in common with than vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. They were all there at some point. Mm-hmm. No one was born jacked. I mean, everyone had
Except for maybe Arnold.
Maybe. It's a couple people like something was different. Yeah, but no one was born Mr. Olympia. No one was born Mrs. Olympia. Like everyone had to work for it. Mm-hmm. You know, even if they were blessed genetically, again, they had to work. You have to work. You have to work to get to that point. Yeah. Everyone's got to start somewhere. You might as well start today.
Amen.
Boom. See, I like bumpering stuff. Just right on there.
All right. On that perfect note.
On that beautiful outro. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Shout out to our Australian listeners. We see y'all.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
we are so excited.
We don't know how you found us, but we're glad.
We don't, but it's... Can we be best friends?
Yeah. And to our American listeners, hi. We probably told you about it. And if not, even better. We're glad for the organic stuff happening.
Okay, the Australian ones are like, we know like there's no possible way this is friends or family. Yeah. So
and even if it was a misclick, we're still counting it.
But no, because the percentages, that poor bastard decided to listen to at least a second episode.
Yeah. All right. But thank you for listening to us again. First video one, assuming my phone didn't die. But first video one, again, as usual, everything will be uploaded on Wednesday at 12 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday. So for your morning drives, your morning lifts, you will be able to listen to our sweet dulcet tones.
Absolutely.
Again, follow everything at ULA Podcast. Reach out to us. Hit us on the DMs. That's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Those are the ones.
Yeah. That is the list of platforms we are currently on.
And then again, you can listen to this on all your podcast listening platforms. Save Apple Podcasts. We're still working on getting with them.
On that one. Hopefully we'll be coming. I think we're going to hear back later this week.
It should be like within the next couple days. Yeah. And then again, this video one, assuming it worked, will be uploaded to YouTube as well. So you will be able to watch us.
Absolutely.
In our wonderful podcast studio for the audio listeners.
And you're going to be able to see me demonstrate what it looks like to dance in the squat rack and how that leg press machine works.
Exactly. That's two things. All right. So thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see y'all next week.
Have a good one.